Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve. Let's talk about vision boarding because 2024 is coming. It's very, very close. I usually probably wouldn't make an episode about vision boarding considering I've never done it. But this year I've been thinking a lot about it, and I'm actually having a whole Zoom chat with some friends of mine to talk about our goals for 2024, which is really exciting. I've posted about both of them. Miriam Yin with Mir is a yoga teacher, and Julia I've actually never said her last name out loud. Julia, last name Branding on Instagram. She owns a photography business. She's done my branding photos. She's amazing. The three of us are actually having a session where we're chatting about our goals for the new year, what we want to achieve in 2024. And I'm just so happy that we're doing that. I did not initiate it because I do not have the pre-planning. I'm a pre-planner, but not in terms of like year goals and stuff as much, because also I've done a lot of therapy, and my therapist has literally said that January is one of the busiest times for therapists, because think about it, like the holidays are over, we get really stressed, we're trying really hard to be this like brand new fucking version of ourselves. It's like a whole thing. So that being said, pre-book your therapy sessions. And if you've never done therapy and you need the push to do therapy, first of all, I have something very exciting launching in the new year that will help with that. But check out the link in the show notes. I do work for a therapy practice. That's the job that I have started a couple months ago, and they have an array of over 40 therapists. They have in-person locations in the GTA, and they also all do virtual appointments. So there you go. That's your little therapy reminder for the day. And so much more will be coming out about that soon. But overall, like planning for the new year, like it just overwhelms me. And I really used to try to do the new year, new me bullshit. And I one time remember 2 years ago talking to my therapist, and she's like, girl, everyone's going through this right now. It's not realistic to change everything about yourself right in the moment of one instance of 1 month and literally change every single habit you've ever had. Your brain will go into danger mode and will flag it as like something's wrong because you're doing so much out of your comfort zone, and you will revert and take like 5 steps back. So that being said, when you think about your 2024 goals, your New Year's resolution, have some grace with yourself and be realistic. Pick one thing to just work on. And also, I think we have to remember that like New Year's resolutions don't mean January resolutions. Like, we seriously think like we're going to change everything and it's just going to all happen in January. And it's like, I'm sort of thinking about my year of planning in like a business aspect of like, what do I want to achieve with human to human, and thinking about the year as this very long 12-month stretch of time that different seasons will come about within that year, and there will be moments that I will be pushing towards more goals versus others. There will be moments where I'll be letting off the gas completely and resting and relaxing. So let's be a little fucking realistic over here, bitches. Okay? So a few thoughts that are coming to me as I'm thinking about having this brainstorming session with these two friends of mine and planning for the new year. I'm thinking about, who do I want to be? And if you listen to the episode I released on day 20, I talked a lot about like wanting to like dress the part. And I'm also really taking action to deal with some of the acne I've struggled with. And that all feels really good because I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm going to be entering 2024 and continuing in 2024 to work on my wardrobe, which is something I've never paid a lot of attention to. So that feels really cool. Like, who do I want to be? And picturing, what does she look like? But most importantly, how does she feel? How does she feel when she puts these outfits on? How does she feel when she wears these like high heel cute booties and goes out to record a podcast episode? Like, that is what is being really like that's what's sticking with me and staying very exciting and like making my chest feel really expansive and awesome, is like, oh wow, like I'm looking the part, and when you look the part you feel the part. And that's what also just makes me feel like, oh, I'm taking control of my business, of my podcast, of my life, of my work. That just feels so awesome. And for me, this is a very interesting year I'm going into because it's the first time I'm not in school for the entire year. So the whole year just feels like, holy shit, like I'm on my own timeline now. I'm not on the timeline of school and semesters and deadlines and exams. So there's so much opportunity in that. It can be scary, but it can also be really exciting. And I'm fucking pumped. Every year I've started school, I've been like, I feel like I can't dream big because I'm spending so much time studying and shit. So this year I'm really thinking about how I want to feel and how that kind of tangibly looks in terms of outfits and all of that. I'm also thinking about who are the people I want to surround myself with. And the way I'm answering that question is the same. How do these people make me feel? How are these people helping me progress in my life? How am I able to open up to these people and tell them about what I'm going through or what my goals are and what my dreams are? And it's very cool to like end off this year with two people that I'm pretty newly friends with talking about our dreams and our goals because that's also a sense of accountability. And now that I'm not in school in terms of my career, I feel like I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm really ready to like dream so big and make really big leaps. And let's pause for a moment and talk about how each of our year each of our yearly dreams and goals will look very different. Some years I'm focusing a lot on my health. I'm focusing a lot on making sure I have a good exercise routine, all that stuff. And yes, I am still wanting to like maintain that, but this year my goal is really focused on my career. But maybe 2024 for you is really focused on your relationships, making sure they're fulfilling you. And I feel like for me 2023 was a huge year. My biggest transformations were in terms of my friendships, my relationships, my family dynamics. Holy fucking shit. I don't even know. I don't think I set the intention for that to be the thing, but it all changed drastically. And that has also set up the foundation now for me to feel like I can go into 2024 and really focus on my career now because I have a support system that I have been really intentional about, and I'm open to meeting new people and fostering new friendships because I have that capacity now. Because I also have had a lot of friendship breakups and experiences that a lot of people who are in my life are no longer there or are no longer as present. So each year has its own theme. I'm going to talk about my theme, but yours may be very different. Maybe yours is about school. Maybe yours is about graduating. Maybe yours is about finding a career you like. Maybe yours is about your own health and wellness. Maybe it's about travel. Who the fuck knows? You do. That's who does. Okay. And so for me, when I'm talking about my career, when I'm thinking about all these things, I'm like trying to be audacious. I'm trying to be bold. I'm trying to really put things into the world that are gonna really change things for me. And I'm so fucking grateful for where I am right now because I'm ending 2023 starting to create relationships with brands that I'm obsessed with, which is my mom said this to me the other day. She's like, this is all you've ever wanted. Like with the podcast, she didn't say all this, but for me with the podcast, I know that like the way you can monetize things is to build relationships with brands you love and be able to do paid partnerships and showcase those things. And I've actually tried. When I've reflected on it, I'm like, oh my God, in the summer I was like emailing brands and pitching brands and trying to like put myself out there and nothing was coming. And now I'm so fucking grateful to be, showing off gifted products I've gotten from Hoo Ha, which like I literally can't live without these underwear. Like I need my full underwear drawer to be stocked up with Hoo Ha undies. They're amazing. I'm wearing them right now. I love them. And I'm getting to like talk about a crazy awesome condom brand that's so healthy for our vaginal I was going to say so healthy for our vaginal health, but you know what I mean. Like we need that. That's what I care about. And so my world is expanding with what brands I can work with and how those relationships can develop. So I'm so grateful for that happening right now in 2023 because I'm like, okay, it's here. What I've been working towards for so long, it's slowly starting. So it's showing me what is possible and making me be like, okay, let's shoot big for 2024. And I'm going to make I don't know. I think I'm going to make a vision board or I've already started like writing down the list of like the brands I'm hoping to work with or like the category of brands I'm hoping to work with, like a curly girl hair brand or something like that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let's put big things out there because I'm also now surrounding myself in my work environment too at the therapy practice with people who are shooting really big and we're working towards really big dreams with that actual practice. So I'm like, oh my God, seeing and hearing and discussing with people about planning for really big things makes me also feel like, okay, I can do this for myself too. This is in the realm of possibility and only you can make that a thing. Because if I'm going to sit back and be like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe," then it won't happen. Because if you're not sure, if you're not certain, and you don't have to be certain every day, you don't have to be certain 24/7 fucking hours of the day, you know what I mean? Because like all month, you don't need to be that certain because we have our moments, we doubt ourselves, that's fucking normal. We have mental breakdowns, but in your core, I went to a yoga class last night. Oh, and you need silence. In your core, when you are in silence, when you have time for these thoughts to come up, your truth of what you really know will shine through and will be there. And for me, that's like my destiny for what I'm doing with human to human and where I want to go. It all comes through and I know at my inner core, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And I know these things are possible. I know they're in my wheelhouse. I know they're in my realm of possibility and capability. And I have the capacity to work on them. So we're getting a real fucking what? It's so weird. The terms I'm trying to find are like audacious. Yes, we're getting audacious. I am calling my shot, and I found like some cute TikToks of better vision boards that I like because there's different styles. I'm not doing the magazine cutout, and I'm not leaving it just on my computer because I don't like it. I want it to be physical, but I want it to look good. So I'm going to develop the pictures, and I'm like going to call my fucking shot. That's what I'm going to do because life feels so fucking cool when you are actually really working on the things that you want to be doing and not just following what someone else wants you to do. And I hope over the course of this Podmas, you have taken that away and learned that in different ways, whether it's through the conversation I had with my boyfriend on here, us talking about our family relationships, or me talking about the struggles of the holidays and how to freaking tell your family what you're even doing with your life. My overall wish is for you to trust that you can be yourself and you can follow your own passions, and the people who don't support you on that or agree with it aren't going to be those people who are in your inner circle. They're not going to be the people that you're leaning on, and they're obviously not going to be the people cheering you on, but you can find those people. And it's about making hard decisions to leave relationships, to walk away, to open yourself up to new ones, to put in the effort to cultivate friendships because it's hard, it takes effort, and to overall like live a life that feels so good for you, and to live a life that is joyful and full of abundance and positivity and actually being on the direction that makes you feel happy and makes you feel fulfilled. Because the only person that can control that is you. We can sit around all day and take a victim mentality of like, I can't do this because I don't have the money, and I can't do this because my mom thinks it's crazy, and I can't do this because my boyfriend doesn't agree with it. And it's like, girly, it's your life. It's your life, and no one's going to make you do it. I have talked over the course of this month about friends of mine giving me pushes to do certain things that I know I've needed, like cold plunging. Weird thing to say you really need to do, but seriously, I've had really great people giving me the push to do things that I need to do. But Podmas wouldn't have been a thing if I listened to anyone but myself. When I didn't tell a lot of people I was going to do Podmas when I started planning it too, because I was like, people are going to think I'm fucking crazy. And also, I don't really know if I can do it. And so that's a really fun tip, I think, to leave you off with is when you're not sure if you can do it or not, just work on it and stop talking about it and don't tell people about it. Just work on it. I have a friend who's like the runner friend of mine, and I didn't tell her I was training for a 10-kilometer race back in September. I did the race and then I sent her a selfie and she was like, "What the actual fuck? I didn't even know you were running." And I was like, "LOL, yeah, I don't think I ended up telling you because I didn't know if I could do it. So I didn't want to call my shot yet and tell you and brag about it because it's called mental masturbating, where you just tell everybody what you're going to do and then your brain gets tricked into thinking you actually already did it. So fuck that. Stop doing that. You don't need to tell anybody what's on your vision board. You don't need to post it anywhere. I didn't tell anyone that I was really doing that race. And then once I did it, people were like, "What the actual fuck?" And it felt so good because I was like, I didn't get validation from other people in the process. Yes, I got like, "Oh, good job" when it was done, but it happened and it was there. And it was for me. That's the thing. It was just for me. Same with Podmas. I didn't really tell anyone. I remember the moment I was on a walk in September in my neighborhood and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do it. I've had this idea for so long and I just never knew if I actually could. Because, especially depending on how much you have going on in your life, I had a family member be like, "How are you doing this?" And I'm in a transition period with my job. My job wasn't full time when I was working on Podmas. And so I had the capacity for it. And instead of just twiddling my thumbs, thinking to myself, what the fuck am I doing with my life? My job isn't full time yet. I'm just sitting around. I was grinding. I still had moments where I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? But all this free time I had, I was putting all of it into this. And I was completely shocked once I saw it all unfold. And before the month of December even started, I had like 17 episodes prepared, scheduled up, already ready to go. And I impressed myself. And I could have been the only person to do that. And then once it started coming out, people were like, holy fucking shit, Jess, this is a lot. And I'm like, yeah, it actually feels crazy now that I'm posting every day. But I did it. I did it for me. And I believed in myself that I could be capable of so much more than I even thought. And I pushed the envelope for what I thought my capacity was. And that's why I love running. That's why I love podcasting. And that's why I'm so glad I did this. Cause I'm like, it could fail. And I still had moments leading up to it. Right now, I'm like, oh my God, okay, things are getting close. I need to get episodes ready for the very end of Podmas. Am I going to do it? But hello, you're here. Happy December 24th. I did it. And that feeling of accomplishment is unreal. And to know that I tackled something I've always thought about doing is also just like so magical. And so I really encourage you for this new year, and you can do this at any fucking time. January isn't necessarily your month. You have to be aware of what season of life you're in and what makes sense. And I knew that Podmas worked for this season of my life. Who the fuck knows if I would do it next year? But trust the season of life you're in and be really fucking honest with yourself. Is there room to push myself right now? Moments where maybe not is like when someone passes away, if you're, finishing up grad school, if you just started a brand new job, like, yeah, there aren't always going to be good times to really, try something new. But we also have moments so often throughout the year where things get mundane and we have this little whisper in our head, in our heart, in our body that says like, we need to do something more. And then when you do, the feeling of accomplishment when you get to go to bed and be like, I'm a bad bitch. Let's take this full circle. I'm a bad bitch. Dress the part, look the part, act the part, do it. It's worth it. You're worth it. You're capable. You got this. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. I can't believe we only have one episode coming out tomorrow. Obviously, I'm going to post weekly in the new year, but I really appreciate you tuning in. I hope this lit a fire under your ass and just made you smile this Christmas Eve. Happy holidays, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. I got a fucking work notification. Jesus. I'll talk to you soon.